Guys, so we got another one from Bathroom Remodeling Tutor. He's going to go over shower systems. I'll give my thoughts on them. We'll go from there.
It was a smaller bathroom, 4x8, but it had a really small fiberglass shower unit in it that we wanted to expand into a bigger shower. The unknowns in this bathroom was how big can I actually get it? So I went with a system called Wedi. This allowed me to get a bigger pan that I can cut down and custom fit for this particular shower.
I've used Wedi in the past. It has its scenarios. I've used them maybe on 2 jobs as far as like the shower base pan goes. It works, but it does have its pros and cons, you could say.
I think this one was like around 41.5 inches wide. So I was able to custom make the pan to fit that space and make that as big of a shower as I could in this place, in this scenario. Move this around our drain. Now, the one other thing about the system that really makes it easy is the shower drain connection.
It's not always the easiest getting that in there. If that pipe isn't absolutely perfectly plumbed, getting that gasket in there and getting it nice and tight and not having any leaks is not the easiest.
Along with using foam board, backer board, and a sealant application for the waterproofing. Really makes it easy, kind of almost foolproof. As long as you have enough sealant, you're going to be...
It's not foolproof, but you know, sealing and putting that together is not too bad. You can have issues though.
Able to get a nice waterproof shower.
Thing is with the Wedi, as you can see, you're putting your sealant in here. You got to make sure this is really, really clean. He has a lot of debris in here. It should still be okay, but you have to have it clean on the wall board, this whole rapid joint here and whatnot, then get the board in there. It's got to be really, really tight connection. There's not much room for error on this system at all, so it really is like a precision cut with everything. It has to be perfect. I mean, you want your cuts to be good regardless, but this really needs to be precise. Otherwise, you're kind of relying on the sealant to hold that connection together. That's going to be there for many years and needs to be watertight. And I don't like about the systems where you have to use the washers and the screws. It adds a lot more time to put everything together. A lot of manufacturers call for them. I try not to always use a board that has washers in there. It just takes more time, and time is money in the business. That's just the bottom line. People are not willing to pay you more for using a system from washers to no washers. I mean, that's not really something you could charge more for that part. He's using a real small curb there, smoothing out all the sealant. Then he's doing his tile work here. So as I was saying, with the Wedi system, it has its pros and cons. For me, the best scenario is kind of like a curbless shower. It's only about 3/4 of an inch on the perimeter. It can make that really work nicely. So that's the best case scenario. If we use it for a regular walk-in shower, I prefer to do it other ways. So yeah.
Was another smaller master bathroom, same size, 4x8, and again, I did not have a complete understanding of how wide I can make this shower. I really wasn't going to know until I removed everything in the bathroom. But what I wanted to do in this one was have a curbless shower. So no curb. It kind of makes it feel a little bit bigger in a small bathroom. And again, I went with the Wedi shower system. These are one of my favorite systems. The curbless shower pan for this really makes it easy because it's only 3/4 of an inch thick. So once you recess the sub layer of your shower, it'll even up with 3/4 inch plywood and make a nice seamless entrance.
Now I believe
this one is probably one of the easiest ones of all of the shower systems I'm going to be showing you, and that is using the Tile Redi shower pan. Now these come in many different sizes that are in stock, so you can easily get a 60-inch wide shower base, 54, a lot of things that are nominally width, but you can also have them custom made as well. So what's great about these type of pans is that they have a backsplash on it that's already manufacturably sealed. So the whole shower pan itself is waterproof, It's just a matter of you putting the wallboard up and using a sealant application.
I have not used these Tile Redi new style ones. I've ripped out old ones that were failing. I have not used this one. It definitely is the easiest way to do it, but you got to make sure your floor is level. That's important. Otherwise, the pan's not going to be level. The water's not going to drain. This will work, but again, it's not the system I would pick to do. If I did this in my own house, would I do a Tile Redi pan? Most likely, no.
For that. So this really simplifies it, makes it really fast for installation. The biggest con with the Tile Redi system is basically just getting a pan that fits uncustomary sized showers. So if you're doing something that's like 46.5 inches, you have to special order it or just go with a different system that is able to be modified to fit.
Nice shower. 2 little benches in there that probably no one will use. That's the reality of benches. People don't use them most of the time. The niches definitely, but the benches, usually not.
And then Tile Redi has a newer pan that has a flat bottom.
It
makes it even more simple to install, primarily because all you're doing is thin setting it into place. It does have a new drain connection, which actually makes it a little bit easier to connect to your drain as well, because that riser pipe can come up out of the floor and you can cut it down to fit later on. So this makes it a lot easier, not having to question the gluing of the drain. And this is, like I said, a great scenario for any DIYer that is just replacing a standard size tub.
Yeah, I agree with them there. It's definitely easy, DIY more friendly. I don't like the drain connections. Basically like a shower pan, a plastic acrylic pan. I have to make the connection there. I don't like those really. I mean, they work for plastic pans, but for when you're actually mooring down whatnot, I don't like that. But it works, so.
Or shower, because the shower pan
I believe he's doing a Schluter one. He's building up the subfloor there.
By 5 shower.
Recessing another
so
Curbless
you do
one.
have a little bit more height than what the
doing Curdy. I did this for years. I don't really use Curdy much anymore, especially on the walls, but it does work. You don't like it himself.
Go with a membrane like this,
it's a skill to put it up. It's a wallpaper, basically. It's not easy.
Using the sheet membrane really
it's easy for me. I've been doing it for many years, and I'm good with with what I do. I'm very skilled. But putting up Curdy for most contractors and definitely DIYers, I would not recommend it.
System is just really, for me, one of my least favorite ways to waterproof, just because of the mess with the thin set, the buildup of the layers. But if you could get past that, it really is an easy system to install. And keep in mind,
makes it not easy.
No one's looking at the waterproofing after the shower is done. This is all underneath of the tile, so it doesn't, your objective is just to have a waterproof shower. So whatever you feel you're most comfortable with, and obviously your budget has a big part to do with the remodeling.
Yeah, so he's using a Schluter pan that they make smaller now for Curbless showers. They work. I haven't used one yet. I had about a year ago I did a Curbless shower, but the client did some of the prep work and he used a regular size pan, I believe, and he built up the subfloor and so on. We had to pour a self-leveler on there. It came out really well, but yeah, the next option would be a Schluter one here. I don't really use much Schluter pans anymore. If you guys watch my videos, you know kind of the methods I like to use. I'm not going to get into detail, but you know.
The bathrooms system in this one as well, just because we were able to, which is to allow that drain to go over to the right, and then so it's very versatile. The Schluter pans just allow you to cut things down, and but having shower drains that are not centered is always a problem, and you don't really know until you tear out your existing shower.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. They're not always centered. That's why another reason why I prefer the method I do. Most of the time, you can get pans that fit them or cut them. You can make it work in almost any scenario, but I don't always prefer the pans lately. It's been many years I prefer my other method.
What you're able to do. Go Curbless as well, order bed base, primarily because why spend the money on a foam pan if you can, or if you're already going over concrete. in my opinion, you might as well just go with a mortar bed. In this scenario,
My preferred method of mortar bed for any
so
scenario.
We went, basically,
it's hard work, it's heavy
and
work, no doubt about it, but
to the
you can make it really nice.
Now, when you do something like,
but it is a skill. It's a skill to do a mortar bed. This is not something I recommend anyone doing. Contractors that are skilled, whatnot, of course, but most people are not going to be able to do a mortar bed, and that's why there's such a big market for all these foam trays, pans. Like, there's all different companies that make them now besides Schluter and all these other ones. So you can get the job done because of all these other people that make it. There's a big market for that. But a mortar bed has been the OG since forever, really. It gets it done, and it's solid when done correctly. It's not an easy thing. It's a skill.
This, you want to be able to waterproof on top of this. There's a couple options to go with that as well. But in this one, we went with a liquid waterproofing. So we went with a traditional cement board and then a liquid waterproofing over everything.
That works.
And then you can set your tile over that.
I don't like using liquid on the bases. You have to have the mill thickness absolutely perfect for it to be waterproof, and one little drop or something, you nick it off the surface and it's gone. It does work, but again, I don't feel comfortable with a liquid by itself on the base of a shower.
Way to go about,
but it does work.
A shower as well. It reduces the cost quite a bit when you're doing a liquid waterproofing.
Came out great. So that's really it you got for the methods here. They all work. They all definitely work, the ones you showed here. Use what works for you. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you on the next one.